let's start creating the inputs for our character. But first, I think I need to explain to you the main difference between creating inputs in Unreal Engine 5 and Unreal Engine 5.1. So before the last update, you could come here to Edit, Project Settings, and then you could, let's delete this, let's go to Input, and here you can create action mappings, just like that. Create another one. And let's use a letter C or something like that from the keyboard. You can use whatever you want. Then I'm going to name it something like mapping. I'm going to save it. And then I'm going back to our player character in the event graph. I'm going to select the example mapping that we just created. And from here, I can get any logic I want. I can grab something like print string. And then every time the player presses these inputs, in my case, the letter C, it's going to print hello into the screen. That was the best way to do it in Unreal Engine 5. Now it's a little bit different. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to also delete these things, the variables that you don't need from here. Just delete it. I'm going to also delete this event dispatcher. Like that, compile, save it. I'm going to also delete the example that we just created, save. And then I'm going to start creating a new input action. So first I'm going to our Paragon Wukong. Here I'm going to create a new folder for the inputs. Let's name it controls, like that. And here I'm going to start by creating a new input. Going to be this one that I'm going to create now is for basic movement. So let's start with input underscore jump. I'm going to open this file so that you can see how that's not many things to change here. In the case of the input jump, I'm going to leave the type as bool. I'm going to save it, close, just like that. I'm going to create a new one. This one is going to be input underscore move. I'm going to open this file. This time I'm going to change the type from bool. I'm going to use access to D. Like that, save it, close. Now I'm going to create a new one. It's going to be input underscore loop. This one as well is going to be access to D. So just select the value type here and change it from bool to access to D. Save it and close. But how can we use these inputs in our character? So let's start by creating a file that's going to make these inputs work inside of character once we start the game with this file. So I'm going to create a new file that is the input mapping context. Like that. I'm going to name it immersive underscore control mapping. I'm going to open this file and I'm going to start creating the mappings for our character. Let's start with the jump. I'm going to use input underscore jump. And here I can select the inputs I'm going to use. In my case, it's going to be spacebar. Just like that. Let's create a new one. This one is going to be for input underscore loop. In this case, I'm going to type mouse and I'm going to select 2D. Just like that. I'm going to also create a modifier here. That's going to be the type negate. And I'm going to expand this index and just select the one on the middle. Just like that. Now I'm going to create a new one. That's going to be the input underscore move. This one's going to be actually 4 inputs. So just add 3 more. It's going to be basic movement of the character, just like that. And then I'm going to open the first one. Here I'm going to create a modifier that's going to be swizzling. And this one is done. Now I'm going to open the next one. Here I'm going to create a modifier that's going to be negate. And the next one is going to be actually 2 modifiers. It's going to be first swizzling and then negate. And the last one doesn't need any modifier So I'm going to just leave it like that. You can save, and now your EMC file is done, for now at least. So let's go back to our Kong player character. Here I'm going to first start the control that we just created. I'm going to start with the event begin play. And here I'm going to cast to our player controller. And from here I'm going to get the controller, just like that. And then here I'm going to get a new function from the Unreal Engine 5.1 that is put local, like that. And then I'm going to check if this input is valid. I'm going to get a statement with this. And then I'm going to add the mapping context that was created now. Add mapping context, like that. And here you can select the file that you just created. So now, as you can see here, when the player character starts, he's going to cast the player controller. And then I'm going to be adding the context that just created. And the context have our inputs. So let's just go back to our character. And let's create the logic for the inputs so that you can move. Let's start with input underscore look. And from here I'm going to get, from the trigger I'm going to get the 8 controller yaw, just like that. And then I'm going to also get 8 controller pinch, just like that. In this action value, as you can see, I can't use it here. So I'm going to split this value like this. And for the axis, I'm going to be using here and then here, just like that. Yeah, that's great. Now, so that you can see, I'm going to our game, and then here, I can't move, I can't do anything, but now I can move the camera. I can't move the character, but I can look around, and that is for now. Now I need to create the movement for the character. Let's go back. Let's go for the next input. That's going to be input underscore move. And here's going to be a little bit more complicated, but let's go bit by bit. Let's first add movement input. I'm going to be using this one 2 times, just like that. And as you can see here, I need a vector for this. So I'm going to get the rotation, get control rotation. I'm going to get the right. I also have to split this value here. And from here, I'm going to get the right vector. Get right vector, like that. I'm going to also split this value, like this, and then look this two. Place it here. And from here, I can get the vector that I need, like that. Then for this other one, I'm going to copy and paste it here, and I'm going to get the forward vector now. I'm going to split, and then plug this one here, and the other vector here, like that. I'm going to also split this value here, and I'm going to get the axis here, and then here, just like that. Very easy. I'm going to make it a little bit better. Let's do something like this. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. I think it's enough for now. And then I come back to our game. And now I can move. I can move the character, I can look around. I actually need to create the inputs for jumping. This is the easiest one. So that's input underscore jump. And in the trigger, I'm going to jump. And then stop jumping. Just like that. Let's make it. This is a little bit messy. Let's make it a little bit better. You can select a few nodes and then press letter C to create comments. I'm going to just put things here. You can use these comments the way you want. I'm going to use this as begin play. Also, you can select show bubble to be able to see from far away. So if I don't have to select, I can see. Now I can see. And then I'm going to use this one. Is going to be input underscore look. Like this. And this one is going to be input underscore move. And the last one is going to be input underscore jump. So this is the basic movement of our character.